So begin by sitting comfortably in your seat, comfortable but alert. You feel as though there's a string pulling your head into balance, pulling upwards, lengthening and extending your spine. You tuck your chin in slightly and feel how that stretches the back of your neck, which also relaxes your shoulders, letting them drop and roll backwards slightly, opening your chest and your heart. And you feel your spine like a set of blocks balanced on each other, holding you up. All the way down to the small of your back, that base that forms the balancing point. And you feel the weight of your body, your hips and the backs of your legs pressing against the chair, your feet planted on the ground, giving you stability and firmness. And let your hands rest in your lap. You can close your eyes, or if you don't feel comfortable with that, close your eyes halfway and let your gaze fall before you, downwards. And we'll begin with 3 deep breaths. In and out. In and out. And in and out. And now as you hear the sound of the bell fading, you can turn the light of your attention, shine that light on your breath. You feel your chest that you've opened up expand as you breathe in and fall as you breathe out. And then bring your attention to your belly, feeling your belly rise as you breathe in and fall as you breathe out. Just following that breath from beginning to end. You feel that belly rising as you breathe in, and there's a little pivot point like a hinge that suddenly flips, and your belly begins to fall and you breathe out. Then a moment's pause, and the next breath begins. Breathing in, belly falling as you breathe out. And we're not judging the breath here. We're not saying it has to be long or deep or short. Let the breath be what it wants to be, but you just continue to follow it as you breathe normally and naturally. And you will find that your mind will wander, and suddenly you're no longer thinking of the breath. You're thinking about past, future, something that's happened or something that you need to do. And in many ways, this practice is not so much about continuous attention to the breath, so much as it seems to be returning to the breath, calling your intention to follow your breath, so that when you've strayed from that, there's no berating yourself, no judgment. You simply return to your attention, set that intention, and follow that breath again as your belly rises as you breathe in and falls as you breathe out. And we sit here breathing on the verge of the new year. Now, many people will say that it's just an arbitrary thing. It's only the calendar. But I don't think most of us can help but give a little thought, a little reflection to what the past year has been and what the new year is going to bring. We may have things we want to let go of from the past, or things that we want to hang on to from the past year. And we have excitement or anxiety about the coming year. And what we learn from this practice of mindfulness, I think, can be helpful to us as we face this pivot point, this new year. It's much like when the in-breath turns to the out-breath, and then particularly the out-breath and that slight pause, beginning the new breath. And we don't need to spend a lot of time agonizing over what the past has been or worrying about the future, any more than we spend time hanging on to that last breath, judging whether it was good or bad and thinking about whether the next breath will be good and whether we'll do it right. We let that past behind and we just move into the next breath, into the future. In that pivot of now, which is so brief that it can seem almost too small to exist in. But if we pause and pay attention to it, it can also open up and be as long as we want it to be. We've just also come from Christmas and Advent. There's something I love about Advent. There's kind of a magic and wonder to it. I remember the excitement of those little Advent calendars we have as kids, opening each little door day by day. Perhaps it was even one of those where there was a sweet inside, or a picture of a toy, counting down the days till Christmas would come. And I remember from my confirmation classes some 50 years ago that this time was also representative of preparing for the coming of Jesus, the coming of the kingdom, the coming of heaven to earth, and that we prepare for that. That preparing for it moves us forward and brings that moment of wonder to us, as we do at this season of year. With Christmas, we try to be less concerned with ourselves. We think of others, we give more, we give kindness and thoughtfulness and love to other people. And I think the wonder of it for me is that if we do that, it's almost as though it doesn't matter whether heaven comes to earth, whether Jesus appears. We've in that moment transformed this place into a heaven on earth, where we care about each other and can take care of each other. And so we can treasure these last moments of the year, much like we do those sweets in the Advent calendar, looking at each breath, not having to rush to the end of the year or rush to the new year or facing the new year with fear, just taking one breath at a time, enjoying the sweetness of that breath. And oftentimes what we do is we, of course, think about perhaps what we wanted to accomplish in that past year. We may have had resolutions or a theme we wanted to have for the year. And here again, we don't need to judge ourselves if we didn't meet that intention, if we didn't always meet that resolution. Just as we do with the breath. Once we've identified that innermost request that we have, our heart's desire, whether it's a way we want to be in the world, more direct, kinder to others, or perhaps we wanted to learn a new skill, or just find some things to play at, to become more like a child again, that we simply return to that. We don't have to, again, berate ourselves any more than we do for that last breath, or for allowing our mind to wander. We just recall our intention and reset it and return to that intention. And we have a wonderful opportunity to do that as we step into this new year. And much the same as we do in this practice, where we bear in mind that it's good to remain attentive, but the more relaxed we can be in that attention, the better. If we're all balled up, tight, and anxious, it makes it difficult to respond to what the moment asks of us or what the world asks of us. Whereas if we can be calm, relaxed, as much as that's possible, we can respond more the way we'd want to and respond to what is asked of us. So we remain relaxed but ready. We let go of that past year with no fault finding of things we didn't do or didn't accomplish. And as I said, we can look at our deepest wish, our innermost request. You'll find that if you can identify that, it's much easier to motivate yourself rather than saying, I want to lose weight. And not eating becomes a moment-to-moment difficulty and matter of discipline. If you say, I just want to feel more free, I want to move more, I enjoy it when I move more, you can let that motivate you rather than some sense of discipline, something you should be doing. So again, we remain relaxed. We let go of the last year and are just ready for what's next, as we are with that breath as it turns, as our belly rises as we breathe in, it falls as we breathe out. And this practice of non-judgmental attention and awareness, I would suggest, is one thing we can bring into the coming year. One thing that's our innermost wish. We want to be present in our lives. We want to be aware and attentive to them, to the world, and to other people. And so this same mind that we bring relaxed but attentive to our breath, and to our body, in the moment between the bells that we practiced this year, we can bring to the coming year, to be more attentive, more aware, from moment to moment. Because as someone said, it's where you put your attention that becomes your life. So that's a choice that you have right in your hand, what you choose to pay attention to. Whether it's in the news, something someone said, something you're saying to yourself. You can let go of those things and pay attention to what matters to you. And so we return to our breath. Feeling our belly rise as we breathe in and fall as we breathe out. Rising, mysterious turning as we breathe out. That in-between moment where the breath pauses and then begins again. That next sweet, mysterious breath. That next moment that we aren't sure what may bring for us. But we know we'll be able to accept whatever it is. And that too is my wish for you in the coming year. That you find joy, what it is you wish to do. You find love and bring love into all your interactions. So carry this mind forward. We'll ring the bell and end with 3 deep breaths. And when you're ready, open your eyes and carry this feeling, this mind into the new year.